here we are at Orlando again, and tonight I have Michael. He's from France.
Yes.
And besides that, he's an NLP trainer of our society, the Society of NLP. And a lot of ands tonight. He just won the third place in. Let me ask him.
Yeah.
What did you win?
So in Singapore in December 2016, I won the bronze medal at the World Speed Reading Championship. So in Singapore.
Oh man, third place worldwide.
Yes.
Imagine that. Imagine that. So the first question that I always ask. How did you get into the world of NLP?
I actually was interested in NLP for quite a long time, since I am a teenager.
Yeah.
I was reading a lot about it, then I started to get trained into hypnosis.
Yes.
I actually thought that Richard Bandler was not alive anymore. So when sometime a friend told me I go to a training with Richard Bandler, I said, but he's not alive. He said, yes he is.
It happened to me. It happened to me. Somebody said, who is this person with you have the picture with? Richard Bandler. No, that's an imposter. He's dead. Yeah. No, I was just with him at London.
Yeah. So actually I went to the training, and then it really changed my perception of NLP. Because I saw that just as a bunch of techniques,
yes.
And it's much more than this. It's really a state of being. I would say a life skill,
yes.
Much more than a set of techniques.
Yeah, a technology.
Yeah, exactly.
That has a lot of things.
Yes.
Cool, cool. So tell me, when you became a trainer, or before you became a trainer, did you start doing the fast reading with the NLP, or how was that process?
Initially, parallel to what I did in NLP, I started to get trained with Tony Buzan. Tony Buzan is the creator of mind maps,
okay.
And he's also training in memory techniques,
okay.
Mind maps, speed reading,
yes.
And I'm senior trainer for him, so I'm the only French-speaking senior trainer in Europe.
Cool.
And and I started to use a lot of those techniques, and one of my goals was to really use NLP modeling to see to what extent I could become good in one of the fields. So I chose to work on speed reading, and I took all the techniques I learned with Tony Buzan, and I added to that the modeling of people who were actually excellent speed readers.
Cool.
And my goal was to at least to enter the championship, and actually I won it. So
yeah, that's nice. You know, the last book that Dr. Bandler has out, it's Teaching Excellence.
Yeah.
And yesterday we were talking. We're here doing the Design Human Engineering seminar with Dr. Bandler and John Laval, and you told me that people with dyslexia can actually read better doing something. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
In the trainings I give on speed reading, I accept everybody. So there are people with dyslexia, for example, and at the beginning I was quite afraid that those people would just get lost in the training. And I was amazed to see that they were those who had the best progression.
Imagine that.
Yes, and especially, for example, if you take, there are those texts where you take all the letters from each word and you scramble everything. You just leave the first and the last letter together.
Yeah, and the brain, it's familiar with the word.
Yes.
So you kind of like filter the meaning.
Yeah, so for me, for example, reading such a text is not too complicated.
Yes.
But for a dyslexic, it's easy like hell.
Of course.
And what's amazing at that moment, I realized that actually dyslexia was more of a skill than a problem. And that's why I'm very interested in working with people who have this problem, because they can develop excellent skills, excellent reading skills. It's just that they were using those capacities in the wrong way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just tune them up.
Yes, it's more of a kind of
Reframing.
yes, exactly. A reframing that they consider that they are sick, they have a problem, when they realize that actually they're skillful. It's like if all the doors get opened for them.
Cool. So, if somebody wants to do or to start to do some speed reading,
Yes.
and has absolutely no experience, can you give us a tip?
Yeah,
so
sure.
how you can begin to do it on your own?
First, let me just give a difference, because there are many kinds of speed reading.
Okay.
There is what I call conscious speed reading, where
Okay.
you read actually everything, but you get to accelerate a lot.
Okay.
This is the kind of reading I do. There are also other kinds of speed reading, like photo reading or hypno reading. I'm not talking about this. I'm
Okay.
talking about how to accelerate by reading each and every word. Okay?
Okay.
There is one excellent trick.
Okay.
For example, you know, when kids start reading, their first basic reflex is to use their finger.
Yes.
Yeah, and very often teachers say, okay, stop doing that, this is for babies, it's not for you. But look, if you, for example, have to look at a big Excel spreadsheet,
Okay.
and you need to find the data, immediately, spontaneously, you will
put the
use your
finger.
finger.
Yeah.
Yes. Why? Because the risk is that you will switch from one line to another
Okay.
without noticing,
Yes.
actually. And why is this? The trick is very easy. Look, if now, for example, I imagine a circle.
Okay. The circle
yeah,
here.
Yeah, a circle like that.
Okay.
I'm faced to you, and you can do the same at home.
Okay.
I will imagine a circle, and
Okay.
I will follow it with my eyes. Just look the pattern of my eye, if it's really a circle that it's doing. My
Okay.
eye, okay? And I will do it slowly.
I'm watching his eyes, and he's.
Is it smooth?
It's kind of like a zigzag.
Yeah, actually. The real thing that happens
He was
is
moving
that,
his eyes.
yeah, it will move kind of this way.
Exactly.
You know, with it won't be smooth at all.
Okay.
And why is it so? Because the eye and the brain are not programmed to create a move. But now if you draw a circle with your finger, and I
Yes.
follow your finger, just look at my eyes, do
Okay.
it, draw the circle,
Very smooth.
extremely smooth.
Totally different.
Yes.
The first time his eyes were like, without watching my hand, his eyes were like this. Now they were like in a perfect circle.
And you can do it home just to check. So what's the why is it so? The human brain, just like animals, are programmed to follow objects, and we know even that peripheral vision
Yes.
is very effective by looking at differences, you know, moves.
Exactly.
But if, for example, I look this way, I cannot recognize you.
No,
I cannot.
but you know I'm
but,
here, and
but
you can.
each and every move I can see them.
Yes.
So the first thing I can tell you, a great tip to read faster,
Yes.
take a pencil, for example,
Yes.
and follow the line. And with your eyes, you look at the pencil, at the end of the pencil, and
Okay.
you will see that the reading will increase dramatically.
Okay.
You can almost double your reading speed just by doing that. Why? Because instead of using all your brain energy to create that move that it's not programmed to do,
You follow it.
yeah, you delegate that task to your hand, and as you do that, the brain is much more available. So you will read faster, you will understand better because the brain is not bothered by this task that
Yes.
is not that
You
is
make
not
it
programmed.
easier for him.
Exactly, it makes it much easier. So this is the first step. If you do this, you will already increase your speed, increase your concentration, and you will see it's a great tip. Great tip.
Great. Well, one question that I always ask.
Yeah.
When we are practicing NLP and when you're working with clients, normally there is one. It may be years ago, maybe even yesterday, that you actually see how they blossom in front of you in a matter of minutes.
Yes.
Do you have one of those that you want to share with some
Yes.
with the people here?
Yes, exactly.
Look, his face just blurred up.
One person, the first person with dyslexia who came to the training,
Yes.
she was so much convinced that she would not be able to improve that she didn't want to come. It's a friend of mine, and I offered the training to her because I was curious.
Okay.
And actually,
Like a free training.
Exactly. And she improved so much in a matter of a day that she almost multiplied by 4 her reading speed during one day.
Imagine that.
I never saw that before. I could, when I took the training personally, I could multiply it by 3, 4, but it took about 4 to 5 days to do that. And she increased her speed so much that I was amazed. And that's why I started to get really involved with people who have dyslexia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You actually can see the results because in the latest book of Dr. Bandler, you have the spelling strategy.
Yeah.
You know, visual kinetics. And one of the things that we're going to do, for example, in my country, with some of my practitioners, is that we have a mission in which, as you go to an institute and learn English, you learn Italian, you learn French, we're going to do this like in levels.
Yes.
So kids that are in kindergarten can already acquire these skills.
Yes.
And kids that are in first, second, third, fourth, sixth grade, they can actually do it like 2 times a week for a month. So we can bring a quality strategy for every kid that wants to.
Yes.
So what's your opinion on doing that worldwide? To do like this, replicate it in France, in Germany, I don't know, everywhere that people are NLP certified trainers and have this motivation so the younger generation can come up smarter.
I think that the best thing to do, and actually I was in touch not a long time ago with people from the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
And they actually told me that you cannot really change the system from the top.
Yeah.
You really have to teach to the people.
Yes.
And this is going to change things actually. So being able to reach as many children as possible is the best way to do. Also reaching the parents, because parents also have a big responsibility.
Of course.
Yeah. So for me, this is really the future of education.
Exactly, exactly. So, nous avons une grande communauté des francophones au Venezuela. Si tu veux dire quelque chose, alors?
Eh ben, profitez. Si en plus Juan parle français, bah profitez, allez-y. C'est vraiment quelque chose qui, moi, a changé ma vie. Alors n'hésitez pas.
Merci, merci. So your social media, Instagram, Twitter, that you want to share with us?
I use a lot of Facebook.
Okay, Facebook.
You can find me on Facebook with the name of my company, which is Optimistra, OPTIMISTRA, like optimized strategies.
Yes.
And I also have the website www.optimistra.com.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I have something for you from Venezuela.
Oh,
it's a
Rickety.
chocolate. Yeah, it's a chocolate. Yeah. So
thank you, Juan.
Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you the best.
Thank you very much.
As always, and it's always a pleasure to share time with people that are actually changing lives.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Goodbye.